You never think your life will unravel on a Tuesday. That's when the new water guy showed up. His name tag read, Alec, and he had this way of walking like he didn't care who watched, confident but not cocky. It was the kind of demeanor that could make a woman forget the sound of her own name. I saw the way he looked at her, and I saw the way she didn't look away. I'm Martin, by the way. 37, civil engineer, married to Claire for almost 9 years. We have a quiet life in a sleepy suburb where everyone keeps their lawns trimmed and secrets buried. At least, I thought we did. Claire had been distant lately. Nothing obvious, just little things. She forgot our date night 3 weeks in a row. She'd laugh at her phone more than at my jokes. She said she was tired a lot, but I'd hear her humming in the shower at midnight. I noticed Alec on his second delivery. He brought in the jug, and Claire met him at the door, her hair loosely tied up, barefoot, like she didn't expect anyone but me to see her. They exchanged a few words. I couldn't hear what was said, but the way her smile lingered too long, the way her laugh hit a register I hadn't heard in months, it made something in me tighten. The following week, I came home early. Traffic was light, and I'd had a weird feeling all day. I pulled into the driveway and noticed Alec's truck idling at the curb. Odd, since deliveries were usually in the morning. I walked inside and heard her laugh again, too soft, too intimate. I followed the sound to the kitchen. There she was, sitting on the counter, knees tucked up, sipping from a glass of water. Alec stood close, too close, not touching her, but the air between them crackled. They didn't see me at first. I just stood there watching, waiting for the moment they noticed. It didn't take long. Claire spotted me over Alec's shoulder. Her expression changed in an instant, surprise, then guilt, then a practiced calm. Alec stepped back like he'd just realized he was standing in fire. "Oh, hey, babe," Claire said too quickly. Alec was just fixing the, water filter. It was making a weird noise. Alec nodded dumbly, barely able to meet my eyes. I didn't say anything. I just stared at Claire. Her lipstick was smudged. Her blouse, one I'd never seen before, had buttons undone in a way that didn't match a casual visit from a delivery guy. I wanted to scream. Instead, I just nodded. "Cool," I said, my voice dry. "Glad it's working." I walked to the fridge, grabbed a beer, and left them standing there. Alec practically ran out the front door. Claire followed him a few seconds later. I watched from the living room window as she leaned into his truck, whispering something before he drove off. She came back inside and found me sitting on the couch, bottle in hand, staring blankly at the muted TV. "We need to talk," she said, voice low, almost afraid. I didn't answer. Not yet. Because in that moment, everything I thought I knew about my life collapsed into a single question. How long? And the answer was going to change everything. She sat down across from me, hands folded like she was bracing for a courtroom sentence. I'd seen her nervous before, job interviews, her mother's hospital room, but this was different. She wasn't scared of being caught. She was scared of what I'd do now that I had. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she began, voice trembling slightly. I said nothing. "It started a few months ago. The old water guy quit, and Alec started coming by. He was kind, funny, and he actually listened when I talked. I know that sounds stupid. It doesn't," I interrupted, more quietly than I expected. "I've heard that one before. He listened." Her face dropped. She wasn't ready for me to be calm. Maybe she was hoping I'd yell. Something to justify her guilt, to make me the bad guy. "I didn't plan for it to become physical," she continued. "But I was lonely, Martin. You've been so focused on work, the house, everything but me. I felt invisible." I rubbed my face with both hands, trying to stay grounded. So your solution was to climb into the delivery truck? She flinched, and for a moment, I felt guilty. Then I reminded myself, I wasn't the one who'd broken our vows on a weekday afternoon. It only happened twice, she said quickly, eyes darting. Well, 3 times. Once at his place, and once here. I swallowed hard. In our home? She looked down. I cleaned everything. I swear. I couldn't let that linger. The words knocked the wind out of me. Our home. The one we picked out together. Painted together. Laughed in. Slept in. And now it was tainted. Why him? I asked, and I meant it. What did he give you that I didn't? She hesitated, then spoke slowly, like each word cost her something. It wasn't him, Martin. It was how I felt when I was with him. Desired. Alive. Like I mattered again. You and I, we got so quiet. We stopped touching. You were always tired or distracted. I felt like a roommate. He just woke something up in me that cut deeper than anything else. Because I knew what she meant. She wasn't wrong about me being distant. But I hadn't turned away from her. I'd turned inward, working extra hours, saving, planning. For us. For a future she apparently didn't need. I stood up, walked to the window, and stared out at Alec's truck in the distance. It was parked 2 streets down. Coward. Are you in love with him? I asked without turning. No, she replied quickly. It was a fantasy. A mistake. I don't even really know him. I was just in a fog. And now? I want to fix this. Us. I turned to face her. You broke this, Claire. You didn't trip into someone else's bed. You climbed in. Repeatedly. You don't get to act like it was a spell. Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't move to comfort her. I couldn't. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I've already talked to a lawyer, I said flatly. He told me to wait to be sure. I think I am. Her face fell, lips trembling. So that's it? I nodded. That's it. She stood slowly, arms hugging her torso. What happens now? You move out. I'll stay here until the papers are filed. I'll be civil. We'll divide things fairly. But Claire, we're done. She looked around the room like she was seeing it for the first time. The photos on the wall, the half-dead plant in the corner, the sweater she always left on the back of the chair. It all felt suddenly foreign. I never stopped loving you, she whispered. I think you loved what we were, I said. Not who we became. She walked to the door and paused, hand on the knob. I'll come get my things tomorrow. I nodded. She opened the door, hesitated, and then stepped out into the fading light. I sat alone on the couch, silence settling like dust in the air. My world hadn't exploded. It had just quietly fallen apart. And in that stillness, I realized something. Heartbreak isn't loud. It's the whisper of a door closing, the echo of someone's absence, the feeling of standing in the home you built for two, now a shrine to what used to be. But it's also the beginning of something else. Not forgiveness. Not forgetting. Just freedom.